Hi, Pep. Just wondering how you assess the overall situation. I mean, so many teams so close together on 13 points. You obviously need to win, but there's other results. How do you feel about it all?
Good. I prefer to have more, but it's what we deserve, 30 points. We need to focus and try to win our game and seeing which position we finish.
And in terms of that, do you have to be aware of the other results? You know, do you have to be thinking about goal difference?
We see the result the last 5-10 minutes. How is our result? And after that, we see. So we have to focus and win our game. That is the key.
Sam?
Hi, Pep. You've talked a lot about Bernardo Silva, or been asked a lot about Bernardo Silva recently, and how you sleep better at night when you know he's going to play. How does a player get to that level of being that good and that intelligent on the pitch?
He's a street player. All the players, for our fault, is educated what they have to do, and just he does what the game dictates what he has to do in every action. Street player. He's intuitive. He knows exactly what they have to do.
Did you know you were going to get that kind of player 10 years ago, or did you buy him for something else?
I was impressed. We were impressed when we played against Monaco, but not that level.
What kind of player did you think it was? Just playing in the pockets, dribbles? And he's obviously become so much more.
Yeah, dribbles, yeah. Yeah, I like what he has at the ball, but of course the players, you know him when you are with them day by day, especially in the difficulty situations. And Bernardo has been defined, especially in the bad moments, how react or how he behave. In the good moments, everyone is fine. It's in bad moments, and Bernardo, of course, I was expecting was a really good player. Won with Monaco, the French league. That is not easy being PSG there. But when you are many years, 9 years together, so you know him perfectly. There's never injured. Never. Every 3 days play, no massage, nothing. Have an incredible genetic nature to recover and play, and yeah, we have seen it for many years. It's part of the success of this club, alongside for many other ones. It's one of the greatest.
Hi, Pep. I know you said a couple of weeks ago that Erling was exhausted, and obviously he didn't start at the weekend. How is he? Is he fully ready to go and come back into the team this week?
I didn't have dinner with him last night, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see today.
You're very much in the hunt for 4 trophies still this season. How much would it help your chances when it comes to the business end of the campaign if you were to avoid a playoff and to manage to finish in the top 8?
No, I'll try to win tomorrow. Galatasaray is a league in the Turkish league. You see the players, all of them are exceptional. We'll have to make an incredible effort with our fans, give more that we can give for the situation, for a lot of absence that we have, and after we see what happens.
Pep, we've got Gundogan and Leroy Sané coming back tomorrow. Can you sort of sum up how much of a contribution those two made to your time here?
Not bad at all. Huge contribution. My grateful is eternal for both of them. Incredible, lovely persons. Incredible mates. Happy to see them back tomorrow.
With Ilkay in particular, he was such a sort of a key figure for you. How difficult was it for you to sort of let him go?
Yeah, it was a little bit longer than Leroy, but Leroy was really important. He gave us a gift, something unique. It wasn't a special player. The connection when Kevin was there, and our midfield players with Leroy was exceptional, and Gundogan, not actually to tell you. So I've been a captain for the travel season. Massive character. Another player quite similar like Bernardo. Top player in the top games. Big player in the big games. So, yeah, top.
Just go back to Erling, Pep. Why, your job obviously is to analyse the team. You do that very well, etc. Why do you think he's not scored from open play in the last sort of 6 or 7 games? What, is it him? Is it the team?
The team.
And what's happening in the team then? What
How to play better.
With regard to?
Sorry?
With regard to what? Taking up better positions, being more aggressive, decisive?
Create more chances. They will score. Never underestimate the strikers, the goal scorers, because always they will make you silent. So he went to score for the rest of his life, that's for sure.
And I appreciate you didn't have dinner with him yesterday evening, but would you speak to him, or have you spoken to him just to sort of, I don't know, manage him a little bit, let him know you still believe? You know, is that your sort of style sometimes?
I'm not good in that. I'm an overthinking manager, not man management.
So that's interesting, because there is a sort of considered wisdom that at the very elite level, it's actually all about man management, how you sort of, you know, get different personalities to gel and keep them going.
Yeah, the new generation manages just the videos. We are not man management. We don't talk. I don't talk with the players since the last 3 years, so I don't talk with them.
Very wise.
Less problems.
Pep, you've obviously had a few days to reflect now on the Wolves game. You've obviously said that on occasion in the past your emotions can get the better of you at times. So just wondered on reflection what you thought about your comments about Erling Haaland, the Premier League referee, making his debut, whether you thought you went a bit too far with some of the comments you made on Saturday.
They defend the statements always. They defend each other, completely understandable. So they have to do that. But at the same time, they have to defend my club. How many times I criticized the referees last season was the worst season in 10 years? How many times?
I'd have to go back and check. I don't know how many times.
That's true, because it never happened.
Right. Okay, but I'm saying
against United, what happened? You were there. After the United game, what was my comments against the referees? Tell me.
No, they weren't about Dallo, no. What I'm saying is obviously
I was incredibly respectful in 10 years with the referees, never ever. With the defeats and everything, never comment absolutely anything. When I don't have arguments to do it, that's the only reason why. But I know they defend each other, pundits, and everyone defenders. You know, I understand completely, but I defend my players, I defend my club. That's why I owe them my club and my people, and not what happened and that.
I know you made some obviously general comments about, you know, you felt that you'd obviously won all those titles despite the referees. I was referencing particularly the comments about a referee making his Premier League debut, and you implying that he was making.
If he felt offended, I'm so sorry. I know it's not easy for a game debut, and it's happened. So I know there's a sensitive everyone. Yeah, I know that.
Well, I mean, it's not sensitive. It was quite a big comment to make about a guy making his Premier League debut. Probably. That's
why you can write an article and you can get back the statements. You can write it and you do what happened. So just take a look in 10 years when we'll defeat the FA Cup finals, you know, for the position of the referees, the keeper, you know, for Crystal Palace. It's a natural position. It was a red card, it was not a red card. Look my comments after the game. Never, ever, in 10 years, in our defeats and our problems, I never criticized the referees. I know it's a difficult position. What I'm saying this is because there are arguments and reasons why we have done it. And I defend my club and my players. And they defend, or Webb defend the referees. He has to do that. He cannot live on how to do it. It's difficult. Look what happened today in the boxes, in the corners, in the free kicks, in every action. Look what happened. It's not easy for everyone. And every action is fault. Every action. Every action is fault. I know it's not easy, but I have to defend my club and my players, you know, for many, many reasons. And never, ever, in 10 years when we were defeat and we lose in the Champions League, in the Champions League, in the Premier League, in FA Cups, it won't happen. The first statement is congratulate to the opponent all the time. All the time. When I do it, it's because I believe it's fair enough to tell. But if you say for 1 time or 2 times, 3 times in 10 years, I am the type of, okay, it's fine. So everyone defend his position. You defend where you work, right? I defend my club and my players and what happened in many, many. When you have 6 minutes for a disallowed goal in Carabao Cup, I had to tell him, you know. I have. With the hands is against Wolves, it happened. And after Crystal Palace Chelsea, what happened in the hands, I have to tell. Because I don't expect the referees going to defend, but I have to defend ourselves. For the thing is, it's fair enough.
Hi, Pep. Everyone talks about the intimidating atmosphere when they go and play in Turkey at Galatasaray. Can your supporters make the Etihad as intimidating tomorrow?
Everyone is cultural. I was in there when I was a football player in Barcelona, but never ever, I was unlucky for that year when I was in Barcelona, Bayern Munich and now City, never we faced against Turkish teams away. I would love to go to Istanbul. But we're in Istanbul in a big night for us for that club, obviously reasons, but against Galatasaray or Fenerbahce or Besiktas, to see three names that normally are in Europe teams, I've never been there. So I know, I spoke with some players here and there, the atmosphere is unbelievable, but every club and every country and every culture is every culture. So what we expect is the people come tomorrow, support us in the bad moments we have because they are a top team. So Galatasaray have a huge respect for how good they are.
And can I just ask about Nico Gonzalez? Is he going to be available?
Today is the last training. We assess today.
Hi, Pep. You've spoken a lot this season about the energy and the spirit within the group. When the players see that Arsenal have had a result like they did on Sunday, do you notice that energy and spirit increase in the group, or are they just so closed off to it they don't really even notice?
My advice to them is focusing on what you have to do. That is the best advice. If you are just happy or you are optimistic just for the fact that our contenders lose the games, it will not be good. So we can do better. You know, we're done in the balls. We can do better to win games. So now is a different competition, the Champions League, and we are already qualified. That's good, but of course will be really important with the game and weight. You know, you are able to finish with the first 8 and knowing that this competition is so difficult for everyone. So every game is really tough.
Take some questions from Turkish media. Just here on the front, please. Thanks, Alex.
Çiğdem Günal, TV Spor. For you, Pep, what is the hardest thing to control about Galatasaray with Okan Buruk as coach, given their results against English teams? Thank you.
Well, the most difficult is the quality they have. For Osimhen is a top class player in the link with him, his speed, his top scorer. But not just him, Leroy, the both wingers are so fast, so quick. So, and after with Torreira, Gundo, with Lemina, so they have experienced players, all of them. So if you see individual, I think Galatasaray, one of the biggest clubs in Turkey, so always they hire good players.
Hi Pep, it's Veli Yiğit from Now Sport, Disney Turkey. As you said, Leroy Sané and İlkay Gündoğan are the players who you worked in the past, and they know you really well. In my opinion, it's normal that they can do a trial meeting, maybe to discuss your tactical situations with their coach. Do you think this is an advantage for your opponents for tomorrow, or can you say that I'm not the Pep they know anymore, I've changed tactically or mentally?
Good question. They should do it. They should do it. I would do it because we know each other quite well. But that for sure they don't know exactly with which player is going to play tomorrow and the way we are going to attack and defend tomorrow. They don't know it, I think, except have some spy here in the locker room and is going to tell him. So that is not going to happen. So I would do it, of course. Gundo and especially Gundo have been in 1,000 million meetings together. So,
if
but
you
at the end, my colleague and myself, we don't play. Gundo plays, Leroy play, and our players play. That will be the difference, not the tactics.
If you had some players from ex-Galatasaray, maybe, could you do the trial meeting with the ex-Galatasaray players?
Yeah, I will ask to the coach how is his mindset or how approach this type of games. Play the same away, home and away. So of course we'll ask him.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeremy. How important is it that you get in the top 8 tomorrow night and avoid a playoff like you had last season?
Very important. I think if you're in the top 8, obviously you don't play two games, and with the amount of games that we have now, 2 games less is good for us. So yeah, we just want to win this game and control everything that we have in our hands, and then see where it brings us.
It was a very difficult night for the club in Norway. You obviously missed that one through injury. Could you tell us what happened there after the derby? What your injury was?
Yeah, obviously I got a knock on my knee, and that prevented me to play against in Norway because I was still in pain. And yeah, that was the reason. I didn't play, but I feel good now. So yeah.
Just regarding the injury, it was obviously a challenge from Dalot. How did you feel about it? It looked pretty X-rated, let's put it that way, at the time.
Yeah, no, I saw the images as well. Yeah, what can I say? I can only say that I continued to play, but afterwards, the game against Norway it was painful to play, so I didn't. And yeah, I think you guys know my feeling about it.
As a sort of, you're all top professionals, proper players. There's certain challenges which maybe aren't, nice. How does it make you feel when that happens, when another sort of top pro does that? Because, you could be out for a very long time.
I could have, but yeah, look, that happened. It's like that happened. I didn't play against in Norway, and that's it. Like, I don't want to get too much into it because it's the past now. Thanks to the Lord that I didn't get injured badly, and that I'm able to play now. So that's the only thing where I can focus on now.
Hi, Jeremy. Just speaking sort of more generally on tackles and how you come up against sort of markers and things like that. There was obviously a challenge on Saturday that people were talking about after, where you got scrapes down the back of the of the leg. Do you think you get enough, or do you think wingers and fast attackers get enough protection from like the laws of the game or the referees at the moment?
I don't know in general. I can just say about that tackle, obviously, that was painful. I didn't ask the ref why he didn't give another card, or I just know that it was painful. Just knowing myself and my character, I know that I'm not a diver. So if I fall on the ground, it's probably because something happened. At the end of the day, in terms of laws and in terms of, I don't know. I just know that when I'm on the ground, I'm not diving. So then it's their responsibility to see if this is a yellow or red, a foul or not a foul. That's their job.
How many times a week do you think you get like a really heavy knock from a tackle?
In games, you mean?
Yeah.
How many times?
Just sort of on average.
Good question. That's a good question. I would say a week. If there are 2 games in a week, I would say most of the time at least one in a game. At least one in a game where I feel like, oh, this is a strong tackle. This is a heavy confrontation. So I would say once a game.
Hi, Jeremy. Hi. How nice was it to see Arsenal lose?
It's difficult to say because it's not that I find joy in I didn't watch the game, honestly. I didn't watch the game. But yeah, I saw that they lost. But like, I knew there are a lot of games in this competition, and I knew that United, we lost against them, but they played very well. They played very well. We were not at our best as well. But there are a lot of games, and we just need to focus on ourselves. We need to do our job, and then we still play against them as well. So a lot of things will happen. So yeah, I wasn't really focused on that. But obviously, if they lose, it's better for us for sure.
How much will it potentially help you in this title race if you're able to get into the top 8 in this competition and avoid those extra 2 matches?
I feel a lot. I feel it will help us a lot. Less games means also more rest. More rest means hopefully less injuries as well, because we have quite a bit of injuries now. And I feel like, yeah, if we can avoid those 2 games, it will be beneficial for us to rest a bit more. So yeah, that will help us.
Hi, Jeremy. When you go on the pitch now compared to before you joined City, what kind of things are in your head? Like, has it changed a lot over the last 3 years, the kind of things you have to do, or is it very similar to how you've always done it?
It depends game by game, you know. When I go on the pitch, if I play against a team, I'm just thinking of my task, what I need to do, and just to also be confident when I go on the pitch, to be confident and to just think about my qualities and what I want to do in that game, who I'm going to play against, my opponent, and I'm just more focused on that. So that doesn't really change a lot, no. Just more about, tactical, okay, what does the coach demand from me? And then that's it. Then I just focus on myself and what I want to do.
And when you're in that position to cross and you're looking up and you know Erling's pretty much always making the back post run and you may have players come into the front post, Is that basically the plan all the time? You know Erling's always going to be back post. Would you prefer him to maybe come near post, or is everything drilled and that's how it is? Is when you're looking for those targets, is that what you know is going to be the case?
No, I feel like it's difficult to say this is how it's going to happen. You can prepare something, and then in the game, the free space is somewhere else. So when I'm in that position, I always keep my head up and try to look for the right player to pass to. And sometimes he's second post, sometimes he's first post, sometimes he's. I remember against Dortmund, he was more. On the 16-yard when I passed the ball to him. So it depends. I feel like it's not something. Obviously, there's a conversation for sure, but there's not something that is. It's always like this. No, it changes. It depends also on the opponent, and we adapt.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jeremy. Just on the sort of the treatment that you get in games, what is more frustrating to you as a winger, the fouls that you pick up, or when people think that you're diving?
For me, fouls is fine, as long, obviously, if I don't get injured. But fouls is fine because it shows that, I see that as a compliment, that they can't take the ball. It's more something like that. But for me, it's more the diving thing. When I don't get a foul, I'm not diving. That's sometimes frustrating because I know my character, you know, if I fall on the ground, it's because something happened, or I wouldn't fall on the ground. Like, sometimes even the players tell me, fall more on the ground, you know. So, yeah, that's, for me, more frustrating, for sure.
And can I just ask as well, you seem to be playing more inside this season at times. Is that something that you've been working on, and are you enjoying that?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's more unpredictable. And gives me more options as well. So I can play on the inside, I can play on the outside, and yeah, it changes my game as well. And I feel like if I can grow there as well, it will be beneficial for me. So yeah.
Take some questions from Turkish media. Anything, guys? Yeah, just there. Thank you.
Hi, Jeremy.
Yeah.
In your first season in Manchester City, you started in the 46% of the games. In your second season, you started in the starting 11 60% of the games. And this is your third season. And I see that you started in the starting 11 69% of the games. Can we say that this season will be your prime season in Manchester City?
My prime season? Let's see at the end of the season. I can just say that I always try to grow and always try to become better. So we just at the half of the season, but I feel like I've been doing better, and let's see where it brings. But I believe that this season will be better than the previous two for sure.